Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 7 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Juliana Dobson. Juliana, thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it and could not do this without you. So thanks again. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so yesterday there was a very slow start to the day because everyone was super hungover from the big party. I hope we get to see some of this party on the episode, right? I feel like obviously they're going to edit out some of the really crazy parts because, like, yeah, it's been confirmed. Dane and Esty definitely hooked up. And Big Brother keeps blocking the feeds like anytime anybody brings it up. So it's pretty wild. But the plan is still for Esty to go on Thursday. And it seems like Kira and the Pretty Boys are still on board for this. Kira, what are you doing? So then Kira and Anthony were chatting, which is interesting because they were recently at odds with one another. But you know what brings people together. Talking shit about someone else. So Kira was like, oh, I'm really annoyed because Esty keeps asking me how to campaign, and Esty's never played her own game. Dane has always protected her, so she doesn't even know where to start. Which is true. Esty has done pretty much nothing in this game, right? At least, like, Kiki won some POVs and stuff, but Esty hasn't done anything. So Anthony confirms, like, yeah, Esty hasn't campaigned at all, at least not to me, and she just wants Dane to do everything for her. Of course, Anthony is going to say that because we don't need any ladies coming between the Pretty Boys, right? So then Kira mentions, you know what, Esty's not really a threat. Do you listen to yourself when you speak? Oh my goodness. Why vote Esty out if she's not a threat? You know, why are you doing the Pretty Boys bidding when it's probably not going to benefit your game to get rid of Esty? It does not make sense. So Kira's like, whatever. Kira says, everyone who's left besides Esty is a relatively strong player in one way or another. Couple things about that. I'm really curious what facet of the game Kira believes they are strong in. And like, I feel like Kira's had the campaign for themselves a few times, but most of the times it's been because Kira has made a mess for themselves and had to clean it up. So I don't see how Kira's really done that much either. But anyway, also Damien has not really done anything, which is unfortunate. I have to say though, as annoying as the Pretty Boys are, they are all strong in their own ways. Adam and Dane obviously are comp beasts. Mark is really good at like the mental stuff. And then Anthony, he's like a master manipulator. So yeah, they've all got skills, but everybody else, hasn't been a ton of gameplay there. But anyway, Kira and Anthony were then discussing the next eviction because they're like, okay, yeah, Esty is going this time. And then next time we're set, we have our final 5. So obviously they want to target Damien, so they say. But who is going to go up on the block next to Damien? So Kira says, well, if I win HOH, I'm going to ask for a volunteer to go on the block with him. And Anthony's like, you really think somebody's going to volunteer? And then Kira's like, yeah, probably not. So Anthony's like, we got a plan for this. You know, we have to go into this knowing what we're going to do. Anthony really wants to hear that Kira is not going to put him up. That's what he's looking for right now. So Kira says, well, if anyone else besides me wins HOH, they're probably going to put me up next to Damien because that's like the safest option. Again, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Kira obviously feels like an outsider amongst that group of 4, right? That they would automatically assume that they would be the one to go up next to Damien. You know you're at the bottom of the totem pole. So why are you working with these people and doing their bidding? Okay, but Anthony and Kira both say that they won't put each other up if they win HOH. which could actually be true. I know Kira feels very threatened by Dane, so I would not be surprised if they took a shot at Dane. And then if Anthony won, would he try to take out a pretty boy like Adam? Because I feel like Anthony probably views Adam and Dane, well, definitely views Adam and Dane as his biggest competition. I don't know which one he would want to take out more. It'd be interesting to see if he would make a move. But also, what are the chances of either of them winning the competition? I mean, really, they haven't done so hot yet, but I guess the numbers are dwindling, so you never know. Then Kira brings up that Damien has not played the game at all. Again, like, I kind of have to agree. He hasn't really done anything. And Kira's like, yeah, he hasn't spoken much game to anyone, definitely not me. And they're not totally sure where his loyalties lie at this point. They're assuming it's Esty, but, like, who knows? Honestly, I feel like he's gotten really close to Adam, right? I don't know if that's just like a keep your enemies closer kind of thing or what, but he seems pretty close to Adam. Where am I? Oh, but again, why would you target Damien next? You're acknowledging that he hasn't really done much, doesn't have a resume. Why are you going to get rid of him and keep around these compies like Adam and Dane and somebody who's a huge threat in mental competitions, Mark? And yeah, Anthony, obviously, they're still not realizing that Anthony is manipulating everyone, but whatevs. So then Adam, Dane, and Mark were chatting around the pool table, and this is really interesting. They're not planning on telling Esty ahead of time that she's going to be evicted. Wow, that is cold. I would be so pissed if I was Esty, leaving the house and finding out later on, oh yeah, the guy that you just slept with, he knew that you were going, and he did not tell you on purpose. Damn! But they do plan on telling Damien, because they want to try and secure his vote against Esty. So if they're like, yeah, Mark is staying anyway, so like if you throw him this vote, you'll be good. It's a little bit of extra insurance for the pretty boys, because there is that fear that like maybe Kira's gonna flip and not follow through on voting out Esty, and then they're gonna be a little bit screwed, right? So Adam and Dane were in the HOH room with Kira, and they give Kira a heads up about what they're gonna say to Damien to secure his vote, because Kira is involved in this in a way. So they're like, well, Damien probably thinks that Mark would put him up on the block if he were to stay and win HOH, so we need to make sure that he doesn't feel that way anymore. So we're going to tell Damien that if he votes to keep Mark, we all have the common goal of taking you out, Kira. It's a red flag! It's a red flag! Wake up! But Kira seems okay with the plan. Kira's like, I trust that, no worries. Thanks for keeping me updated. Like, you do what you gotta do. No! Okay, whatever. So then today, Esty was campaigning poorly, I have to add. Ugh. She was talking to Anthony, and she was like, I haven't really thought about what to say yet. Girl, you've had how long now? It's the day before eviction, and you don't know what to say? But she's like, I think I have Dane and Kira's votes, and hopefully Adam is still on board with the plan, you know, of taking out Mark this week. So if it's a tie like that, he'll break it in my favor. And she tells Anthony, moving forward here, if you're on the block and I'm not, I'll vote to keep you. And yeah. She also says that Mark only looks out for himself, so he can't really make the same promise. Little does she know. So Anthony says, as far as I know, everything's still the same. Okay, so then Esty talks to Kira, and Esty's like, I'm doing my first few rounds like of campaigning for the whole week. It's like the day before eviction. Kira is not laughing, because you know how Kira feels about Esty. Kira feels that Esty has not done anything and just expects Dane to play the game for her, so she was not feeling that. Or sorry, they were not feeling that. So Esty's like, again, I'm assuming the plan hasn't changed, and she says, if I win HOH, I won't put you up, and if you're on the block, you have my vote to stay. Also, Mark has no loyalty. So she's really pushing that to people, but she is like a day late and $2 short. So Kira says, as far as I know, plan's still the plan. I don't know why it would change. That's a lie. Okay, so yeah, they're really gonna be like that and not tell Esty ahead of time. Wild. So tomorrow is the eviction. It is a double, so let me know in the comments who you guys want to see go second, because I mean it's pretty safe to say that Esty's gonna be going first unless something drastic happens. But let me know who you want the second evictee to be, and I'll see you tomorrow. So until then, much love.